As you saw, you can get a great idea of how to build the Hispanic market, just like the example I gave you about Toy 2, showing the kids having fun, having a good time, and playing with the toy instead of focusing the commercial on the description of the toy. Pepsi did a fantastic job with this commercial promoting the Pepsi experience to the Latino consumers. If you look at the commercial, everybody's having a great time, enjoying the music, dancing, and savoring a refreshing Pepsi. A key phrase that differentiates this commercial from others is the connection drawn by the phrase "sube las manos para arriba," which literally translates to "get your hands up." This simple phrase hits right on the spot to the environment of the commercial and the language of the Latinos. If you're Latino and you hear manos arriba or anything that relates to it, or any wording that says manos arriba or something like that, you know that it's about having a good time and enjoying yourself, being at a party or a concert, whatever. So the message achieved by that phrase was tremendous for the advertisement of Pepsi, showing everyone having a blast. They did not focus one bit in talking about the taste, sugar, or carb contents of the Pepsi. They simply said, hey, here's Pepsi. If you drink it, you'll have a blast. Just like Toy 2 showed in their commercial. Here's Toy 2. If you play with it, you'll have a blast. Your children will be happy and you'll feel great because you bought your children something that made them happy. Therefore, we can predict that the amount of sales for Toy 2 will be much higher in the Hispanic market than those of Toy 1. The difference in these results was the fact that the company that organized the advertising campaign for Toy 1 was a marketing company that was new to the Hispanic market. They offered a bilingual marketing services to reach the English-speaking audience, and the Hispanic audience, which is mostly Spanish-speaking. So they thought that because their advertisement campaign for Toy 1 was successful in the Anglo-Saxon market, English market, they could just directly translate it into Spanish and get the same kick out of it within the Hispanic market. Well, they were obviously wrong about that. The marketing company that organized advertisement campaign for Toy 2 specialized in Hispanic marketing and knows about the great importance that they have to place on the fact that Latinos are very sentimentally oriented. If a product or a commercial makes them think about a loved one or about their family, they're more likely to retain that feeling and go on after the product being advertised. With that being said, we can jump into another segment of the Hispanic marketing that could be crucial. Marketing companies have to be aware of the basic characteristics of the Hispanic market, such as the inclination towards collectivism versus individualism. Latino people are family and friends oriented, which means that they would react more positively to ads portraying family gatherings or friends gatherings. This could be considered as a principle of Hispanic marketing. Hispanic people have a hard time picturing themselves doing something with nobody around. Therefore, companies have to take this into consideration. Like every other culture, Hispanics stick with each other and like to be around each other. It's no secret that everybody likes to be around people that they look alike because they will share a lot of things in common, right? So I see here at school, the Asian kids tend to be around the Asian kids. The African kids tend to be around the African kids. Same with Europeans. Same with the whites. And same with the African Americans. It's not racism by any means. It's just a natural thing. That's why it's important to portray an environment of interaction among people when you're planning your ads imagery. It will be more likely to be penetrating in the Hispanic market if people can relate to it and find themselves attached to it. So going back to the toy advertisement example that I provided you with, Toy 1 was the best toy in the market. There was no doubt about that. But the marketing company failed to advantageously communicate the other qualities that this toy could have. So we can place that as individualism. As for Toy 2, the advertising company did not even focus on describing all of the features of the product, They just showed the most powerful feature of the product, which was to allow kids to have fun and play with one another. And we could put that as collectivism. That's what caught the Hispanic audience attention and what caused it to succeed over the better equipped and priced toy number one. Toy number two did a better job of communicating their message to the Hispanic people. It is fundamental that companies be aware of what they really want to communicate to Latinos with their ads. So the work of an advertisement company, it's not always going to cut it. There has to be more than one opinion. And also, moving on to my next point, qualitative research has to be involved before launching an advertisement campaign if you want it to be successful. I will give companies the best and easiest advice you will ever get. If you want to be successful at marketing to Latinos, simply follow the example of companies that have achieved this success before. I'm not saying copy it, but follow it somehow. You can see companies as Tampico, Corona, Charmin, Pampers, Pepsi. As I mentioned in my last blog posting, the brand Tampico is one of the examples that a company should follow. They came up with the clever idea of targeting the Hispanic market with the familiar name of a city in Mexico, and its brand image representing cool tropical colors with fruit in the image just caught the Hispanic audience. So an image will remind people about an experience, and that experience has some sentimental attachment to it, right? So if marketers specifically target the hearts and minds of the Hispanic, they will see the reimbursement of their ads in a very short period of time. You can see it like a game even. It should be a game, a competition in which companies are battling to see who crosses that barrier to reach Hispanics first. The winner will have a loyal consumer basis, a bigger market share. They will have, of course, higher sales and more popularity among consumers. But most importantly, a tremendous growth opportunity within the Hispanic market. The reason why I say this is because once the brand is recognized and accepted in the US Hispanic market, chances are that they could even expand to Latin American countries as well. So, moving to my next point, I want to mention the importance of identifying that connection that exists among Hispanic families. One of the most remarkable marketing tools that companies would have within this Hispanic public is the word of mouth. Why? Because Latinos, if a person you trust, or as Latinos, if a person you trust or you're related to has used a product and recommends you that product, the chances are that you will go and buy that product. Big chances. Once they like it, they will start telling other people and so on. I dare to say that this could be one of the most powerful influences of the Hispanic people among each other. They always want to help each other, right? So that's why they will recommend you to use something that they bought because they know that you will like it and it will be useful to you. The beneficiary on all of this becomes the company because it's getting advertisements for free per se, or you can see it as part of their marketing strategy. Since they did some research on the Hispanic community, they knew ahead of time that if they achieved success with their marketing campaign, they would probably obtain word of mouth advertisement from the Hispanic people. Your whole marketing campaign will contribute to this word of mouth effect. However, I will give you a few tips that can make this even more efficient. An effective way to get to that point is to organize small stands in Latino fairs or supermarkets in areas in which the Latino population is bigger in those cities. In order to do this, there has to be some research done, but it should not be very complex to find where the concentration of Latinos is in cities. After locating these areas where dominant Hispanic community is present, the stands can be set in grocery stores, or they can be activities involving some competition in which people win prizes such as pens, shirts, hats, or anything in which you can put your product logo on as part of the advertisement. They can even win the product you're advertising. In these stands, you can give out tester products for people to become familiar with what you're trying to sell them. I believe this could be a very effective way because you will have a first-hand interaction with future clients. They will remember going to the store and seeing the product there after being entertained by the people in the stands. As a company, you are promoting your product directly in stores to the community. Another tip would be bringing music to the Hispanic people, which could be very effective marketing, as you saw with the Pitbull commercial I showed you. There are many types of music that most Hispanic people like that does not relate to only a specific country in Latin America. These music genres could be salsa, cumbia, pop rock, reggaeton, which is more inclined towards the younger generations. But companies can organize events in which they can bring music and a family environment to the Hispanic people, and I will guarantee you that they will see a growth of interest for your brand or product. As I mentioned before, the Hispanic market has a very powerful presence in the United States, and it's fundamental for business to follow it and enter it in order to become more profitable. It can make that difference that companies are looking for to take them to the next level. So once again, I encourage entrepreneurs, companies, and marketers to take a look at how they can penetrate the Hispanic market and take the opportunity that is waiting for them. That is all for now. Thank you very much. My name is Saul Torres, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for your attention.